Hello friends, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Trina, and in today's video I'm going to be flipping through my pages for the month of August in both my 365 journal as well as my Commonplace binder journal situation. So first we're going to have our 365 pages first. So for the month of August, I'm just going to get right into it. Wasn't exactly the best, so to speak. It was quite a heavy month for me mental health wise, and also physically, like sickness and such is very much there. But in a way, it was good that I decided to not put a theme on the month of August for me, because that being very constrained with like the stuff I use and the theme that I'm going for would probably stop me from journaling, which somehow I also felt like a journal slump for the month of August as well. But here I will go through and talk through the pages. The first day of August was still like Wanderer Scaramouche banner. I was gunning for C4 Wanderer because I was guaranteed and almost near pity. The story goes is that my friend Roy, who has sponsored me many times in my Genshin account, actually gave me a single 10 pull. I was in his like world asking if I could fish because I was achievement hunting during that time, and I was going for the 2000 fishes achievement, and also the unusual hill trail achievement. And he was like, I am going to give you a 10 pull because I feel sorry for you for doing this. I was at pity 55 at this time, and as soon as I pulled, the gold one came out. I got C4 Scara thanks to him. It was early pity, which is good because if any more, I might not be able to make it. But still, I'm grateful for Roy for always helping me with all of my Genshin pulls. Next, we have here Blood on the Tracks, which is a manga, very psychological horror manga that I have seen in Katie Coulson's channel, and she said it was very good, and I actually like it as well. 5 out of 5. It's still ongoing, but it's only until like the very last few chapters, I guess, but you could see the whole story there already in what's available. And I really liked it. I like the art style. I also like how dark it is. And it actually inspired me to film a very chaotic reading vlog. Because I was like chatting with my friends while I was reading this manga and like ranting to them about the stuff that's going on in this manga, and I encourage them to read. But if you are like very sensitive or triggered with like manipulation, gaslighting, what do you call that? Murder mystery sort of situation, very unreliable narrator and such. Those are like the majority of like the trigger warnings that I could recall, but I really love it. But if you are into like the horror genre, psychological horror, and you haven't read this, I really do recommend it. And here we have House of Leaves. This is my reading vlog that I have started and finished for the month of August. It was very fun. It was very chaotic as well. But I really enjoyed it. It was like an hour-ish, less than an hour long. I also have like lots of, not really a lot, only 3 morning walks with my brother this month. So that was fun. I also decked out a bunch of like, just went all out with the collaging in most of my pages because I think during this time I was using, in July I was using a bunch of these like letter stickers. And so I felt constrained to like use these up in the whole month that I missed like just the collaging portion, and I did a bunch of collaging this month. Here I have like my very first and only shiny in Pokemon Sleep. It was a shiny Weeping Bell. I do have like a shorts in my channel. I just posted it today, wherein I evolved that into a shiny Victory Bell, which I'm very happy with. I really like Victory Bell's shiny actually, and so far that's the only shiny that I have in Pokemon Sleep. I started rehab this day. I did have like physical therapy during the month of August for my back. It was just like a very minor, it doesn't even count as scoliosis, but my spine is bending a bit, so they just wanted to correct it before it gets worse. That's why I did physical therapy for like 7 sessions. It's done now, it's fine. I also watched Zom 100, the live action one, and to be completely honest, I do not like live action adaptations for anime, except Alice in Borderland, which is the only one that I really liked. So for this one, I didn't really enjoy it as much, but we'll see with the anime. I was thinking of like watching the anime after I watched the live action, but I decided to just wait and just binge it once it's finished airing. All of the prints that I've been using here are like leftover prints from previous like journal spreads that I did for my Genshin journal, which almost full, by the way. So I am hoping to like get that journal finished, and I'll have a flip through of my second volume of the Genshin journal. This is when I finish House of Leaves vlog. And then thank you so much. I haven't said this yet. Thank you so much for 200 subscribers. I really appreciate each and every one of you who has been watching recently. I have like almost a big surge on views, and I'm very overwhelmed at first, but then I am very grateful that at least some people are enjoying what I do. It makes all of this filming and like setup worth it, and I will do better next time, I promise. And then we have here, this is 4.0 Genshin Impact 4.0 Fontaine update. I wasn't going for Linny. I was, the truth is, the truth is very funny. I have this feeling always that whenever I pull for a banner, I'm not going for it, but I really want my, what do you call this, my pity counter to be divisible by 5. So like, for this case, 15. I was at pity 13 when I just got Kaching, which I lost 50-50 to early as well. I was at pity 20, I got Kaching. Then on the 13th, I decided to just pull 2 single pulls just to get it even, just to appease my insanity for like making it all divisible by 5. So I pulled 2, and on the 15th pity, I landed a gold, and I was like, I was guaranteed, so I knew it was Linny. However, at first I was upset, of course, because I was saving my pity or like my guarantee for Nivelette, which is the banner or like the update after this one. And my Linny is actually hitting 220k in Spiral Abyss. So I'm like, I'm fine with it now. I have gained a Mono Pyro DPS, and I really enjoy his gameplay. So yeah, this is a good pull for me now that I think about it. And I also really enjoy the 4.0 Archon quest, which is very much also a murder mystery. And like, it feels like Genshin Impact has gained inspiration through Tears of Themis, doing a very much an Ace Attorney moment with like the Hydro Archon Farina. I am also gunning for Farina. We'll see. It's still a long way. I do have here all printouts of the last Klee event, the Mirage event, and just tipped in here. Don't mind me. I'm just happily diving, fishing, and collecting rainbow roses for Linny. So it was an exploration day for me, trying to 100% some of the areas in Fontaine. And I found a bunch of these journaling cards of mine from the past. So what I do is I Google like stock images or like patterns on Pinterest when I was younger. And it was like I printed it out on cardstock paper just to make it like make your own journaling cards. And at least I could choose like the prints that I wanted to make into journaling cards in, and I found a bunch of them. And this pattern color scheme reminds me of the Klee event, so that's why I put it there. Next, I have here a page wherein I'm very much manifesting for Nivelette. This is Nivelette, by the way, like the Chief Justice of the Court of Fontaine, the Judex, I think is what they call it. I have these diamond cutouts from a spread that I did on a weekly page in my Cozy and Chaos, as inspired by the outfit of both Linny and Lynette, like their diamond checkered pattern on their magician's outfit. So that's what I did, and I have a lot of like extras. So I picked out all of the ones that are similar color to Nivelette and stuck it in here. And this also inspired my whole setup for my September pages in my daily writing journal. And also these are like when I finally felt my journaling slump. Some of my pages here are like not really that inspirational or like fun to look at, but I do have Yu here from Vanguard, and I just like put in here like a journaling at a backing of a magazine cover that I have. I really like this mint green framing that I did for this journal card situation. I also use, so I was like doing a bunch of reading for the month of August. I say a bunch, but I only like read 3 books and 1 manga, but that is a lot already for me as someone who hasn't picked up a book for like months. Even during the pandemic, I only like read a book, like a chapter or 2 every time there is like a 13-hour power out, like a maintenance power out situation, and that's the only time I like read a book. So having like finished 4 books in 1 month is like very big for me. So I did buy a bookmark when Comic-Con happened in July, and this was like the packaging of it, like the backing of the packaging of the resin bookmark that I bought. I decided to use that as my journaling portion, like part, because it's a bookmark. I was journaling about a book. I say it's pretty perfect. On this day, I actually pulled the SSR pet card of Artem. I was actually going for Marius, and as always, Marius refuses to come home. So I got Cutie Ollie instead of Sweet Berry card. But I forgive this because Ollie is actually very adorable. I think Ollie is one, if not my very favorite, like pet story with the male lead. Either Ollie or Puff with Vin. They are very much like snowballs of pets. They're so cute. Second to last PT session. My physical therapist, like one of the physical therapists there are actually like, since they are sports therapists, that's their occupation. One of them actually watches like Haikyuu, and we talked about it because they saw like a sticker that I placed in my alcohol bottle of like the uniform of Nishinoya. And he was like, you also watch Haikyuu? And I was thinking about it, like, of course he is like a sports physical therapist, of course he watches sports anime. And so we bonded a bit on Haikyuu. So that's why I placed all of like my remaining prints on my favorite people in Haikyuu. Here, I don't actually have printouts left of my best friend and I's museum hopping sort of situation. I do have a vlog for that, so I will link it. But I do have like, this is like the paper money that they had during the Japanese colonization in the Philippines. And this is the only print that I have left, so I just stuck it there to signify that this is when my best friend and I went to that museum hopping. We went to 4 museums. I really enjoyed it. And the funny thing is that we actually forgot, or like I forgot somehow, that it was the 26th this day. And when we went home, she texted me like an image, or like sent me an image of like my greeting to her 2 years ago, that it was our friendversary. So it was pretty perfect that we went out this day, not intentionally knowing that it was actually our friendversary. So yeah, we actually went out during our friendversary. So this is 8 years of us being friends, and that's just wonderful. And so there are a lot of mixed stuff here that I don't really understand, but we'll go with it. I also don't understand what I'm doing here, but I think Zoroark, Hisuian Zoroark just reminds me of like Karna for some reason, because of the red and also the hair. So I journaled Karna with this. This is a packaging for fake Pokemon cards that I had, so I just put it there. I also have like packaging of like the trial deck of Koshiba Raika and Youthberg. I do have printouts of like Proxy Youthberg deck, and I just journaled in here and wrote like Breaking the Rock is the theme song of Youthberg, which Raika's voice actor in Japanese also sang. And yeah, Fall Forever is his like quote whenever he uses Youthberg. And we reached the end of the month wherein I have my anime wrap up. My anime list was actually given by my best friend. However, I did so poorly, mainly because I have this slump, sort of anime slump during the month of August, as well as I was reading a lot. So most of my time that I should have spent watching anime from my best friend's list, I decided to just read a book. So I have these only, but they're so... there are favorites here. I really love Restaurant to Another World. I really love Saint's Magic Power is Omnipotent. I do love Flavors of Youth and all of its aesthetics, especially in the food aesthetics. Farming Life in Another World is pretty good as well. I am very disappointed with like Orbital Children, and Fire Hunter. Fire Hunter, for some reason, still to this day annoys me because of the cliffhanger, but I am also very much interested in watching the next one. I did give it a 6 out of 10, but I'm still looking forward to season 2 for some reason. And so yeah, that is the end of the month of August in these pages. I think I'm going to do this more often, wherein the last page is always, like the last 2 pages I mean, is always the wrap up for the anime that I've watched and the wrap up of the whole month. Granted that there is nothing going on for like the last day of the month, or else I'll just tip it in or something. But yeah, this is like the memories that I have here and like a little bit of journaling of the month. I did manage actually to pull 3 5-stars in this month. Like I have Catching at 20, Leaning at 15, and Mana for Standard at 76. I did have a bunch of shinies for the Pokemon World Championship event collab sort of situation. So I have 3 of those, which is fun. And so yeah, that is it for all of my August pages in this journal. Proceeding to September actually. I don't know exactly what I am going to be using for the month. I just started and I'm just using up all of the stuff that I have pulled out recently. So what I have been doing actually for like my stash down project, I often do a quarterly filling of my stash box, wherein I only use the stuff that are in that box, and if I don't use it after the quarter, I will recycle the stuff that I won't be using or I won't see myself using for the next few weeks. I call it a stash down, but I want to like rebrand it and change it into stash lock, which is like in my Pokemon background. If you don't know Pokemon, there's what we call Nuzlocke. Nuzlocke is basically a set of hardcore rules, wherein one of the rules is that the only first thing that you encounter in a new area is the only Pokemon that you could use. If you kill it, then you don't have an encounter and you don't have that Pokemon. So I'm going to be sort of like easing into the concept of stash lock, which is basically what my stash box is that I am going to only be using the stuff that are in there. And then if I won't use it, then by the end of the 3-month period, it basically be released. Like in Pokemon, when the Pokemon dies in a Nuzlocke, that's another rule, you have to release it. So like that is basically the concept. It's just a rebranding at my at this point for me, but I do have like concepts here that I'm thinking about, and I am going to be doing that stash lock, and I will explain it more in like my Q3 wrap up and preparing for Q4 situation. So yeah, that is for the 365 journal. So next I have here is my actual Commonplace binder, I call it. It is a Commonplace notebook. It consists of being a junk journal. So I think the last month's flip through, I flipped through with like my storage journal, wherein I put all of the pages of the ones that I have used up in that, rather than flipping it through my jelly cover. So this is a 6-ring binder jelly cover, we call it, type of journal that I bought in 2020 at the height of the pandemic, because I was feeling FOMO of all of these K-pop and anime journals using the jelly cover, and I feel that it looks so aesthetic. I don't know why I went for the frosted gray rather than the white, like the simple white ones, but it is what it is. I am using this still after 3 years, and this is my actual Commonplace journal, as I've said. So we have here the cover that I don't switch out. These are my tags, like to know whether or not it's like personality quizzes, ideas, events that are happening in real life, and like my dream journaling. However, I have not tagged anything because majority, I mean all of it actually, is all personal, and somehow I could see it at a glance whether or not it is a personal real life event or not. So all of these will be blue, and if I ever tag this, I might run out of these circle stickers. So since they are all blue in this month, I will just know right off the bat that they're current like IRL events. So for each month, I put up a page and just add more to it of all of the gacha and like the shiny hunting that I do. I put it in like these succeeding pages. So like I said earlier, C4 Wanderer, Peppermint Cookie. I usually don't put Cookie Run Kingdom pulls because it's very easy to get pulls there. However, I really like Peppermint Cookie. He is so adorable, so that's why I decided to just print him out there. to note that August was the banner when Peppermint Cookie was released. My shiny Weeping Bell in Pokemon Sleep. We have here C5 Kaching, which to my disappointment, I lost 50-50. I was thinking during the time is, why not just give me C5 Wanderer? Instead, you gave me C5 Kaching, but that's fine. This was Linny, and then Mona. We have here Kitty Ollie. I forgot how many are like the PT count for that, so I didn't add it there. I did use a bunch of like, this is, as I've said, a junk journal. So some of these pages are like packaging and wrappers from different items that I've used. So this is like dark chocolate Kit Kat, Danheng Imbi with Arlene. This is not a shiny, but it is like the most adorable 4-star photo of Eevee that I have in Pokemon Sleep. And this was during the event wherein there's like a full moon event where your sleep power is increased by 2, or like times 2 sleep power. So I was able to get a 4-star photo of Eevee. However, my mistake is that this was September 1 actually, and I placed it in August, but that's fine. I just noted it there. It's fine. This is for the championship event in Pokemon Go that I said I had 3, Drillbur, Lickitung, and also Meditite. These 3 actually came back to back in like less than 15 minutes. Like, or was it 20 minutes? Like 3 shinies in the span of 20 minutes. Like it was early morning, we were out, we were supposed to get our blood work, and then I just got 3 shinies. Which actually, I think costed me my shiny luck for shiny Froakie. I only got 5, but that's fine because I just needed 1 shiny Greninja. And I did manage to get not a shiny, but 100% power IV, what you call that? 100% Greninja and 98% Greninja, which I could use for battles. We have quotes here, Tears of Teammates. We have like Klee's Mirage event, Valeria Mirage event. This is during the Returning Curious event section. I just decided to like write down all of the clues and the quotes during that event because I find it very precious. And also the last quote by the traveler to whoever finds their treasure next. And I also put in like Klee's outfit that I bought. August reads, I will start adding this. These are like my reads for the whole month since I read 4 books, and then just write the star rating and then the average. I will color in the average there. Next few pages here are all of like the museums, small snippets of pictures of the museum that we went to. First, we went to the Museum of Maritime History of the Philippines. This is me and my best friend. And mostly I just placed here are my photos. Next, we went to the Museum of Economic History of the Philippines, of Philippine Economic History. I keep messing it up. In the Economics Museum, actually, I have found a display of like, it was a box of tobacco cigarettes, which was a product of La Habana, which is an old cigarette company factory sort of situation. And it made me kind of actually happy that I got to see that in a display because my grandfather was actually like a sort of provider dealer sort of situation for La Habana throughout the whole Panay region, region 6, and it was like a part of history that my family is also in, and it just brings me joy because I remember my grandfather through just that one display. And then we went for lunch and then went to the National Museum Western Visayas, and there was fun because there are a lot of like galleries open, and then there was activity areas. There was this one activity area wherein you could color pages, and most, if not all, of the coloring pages are like half colored in by kids and teens who have been visiting in that museum. And I found a half colored humpback whale photo, or like page I mean, and I decided to make into a galaxy whale because there were no it was like a color by number situation. However, there wasn't any dark grays and whites in the colored pencil that they provided, so I decided to make it into a galaxy whale, and it ended up being part of a reel that was featured by the museum in the evening, so I was fairly surprised about that. And then the very last one is Museo Iloilo, which is like very small but still very worth going to. They really have very pretty paintings of what do you call this? Very pretty paintings of flowers, and yeah, that was really fun. And this is just a random thing. I did manage to put an indicator here that it's yellow. This is, what is this title again? But it is like the very cute slip back. What is the title? I'll put the title and like a few of the clips maybe of, or like the screenshots of the video of this song, because I might not be allowed. I might be copyright situation. So I did copied the lyrics to that song because my brother and I, for the longest time, had a last song syndrome of this. It's so adorable, and I really enjoyed it. And I placed it behind this Kit Kat packaging, and then that is it for the month of like August in my Commonplace journal. There's a lot still. I did say previously to myself that I won't be too hard on myself to fill this up. I'll just fill it up whenever there is something in here. But if there's not, then let's just skip the month and that will be okay. I will only keep track of like my luck for the month. And if that is the only page that I will be filling up for the month, then that's fine as well. So yeah, that is it. And so thank you so much for hanging out with me today and for flipping through both my 365 and my Commonplace. I really enjoyed it, and I hope that in September I will be able to do more creative pages because I've been itching since the journal slump. I have been itching to make more creative spreads in both journals. And so I will see you in the next video. So until then, guys, take care and bye.